I'm going to do something a little different, and we are more than halfway through the decade. We're already in 2026, more than halfway into the 2020s, and I'm going to do something a little different and do my top 10 favorite movies of the decade so far. And coming in at number 10, we have Sinners. This movie was just incredible. This was my favorite movie of 2025. From just the gorgeous production design, incredible story, and musical numbers, just from beginning to end, this movie kind of just had me on the edge of my seat, so invested in all the characters. And that music scene was just one of my favorite scenes I think I've ever seen in a movie. It was fantastic. And coming in ninth place, we have Godzilla Minus One. This movie just made me feel so much. One of the probably, I haven't seen that many Godzilla movies. I don't know how many, but this is easily the best one. One of the best foreign language movies I've ever seen. It had so much great character work as well as awesome monster action. It's so much more than a Godzilla movie because the characters are so just filled with depth and trauma that just make it so beautiful to watch. Like, it's just a fantastic movie. And coming in eighth place, we have Encanto. This is one of Disney's best movies in years. It is easily their best movie of the decade. I think it is probably top 10 Disney movie, maybe even higher. Some of the best music in any Disney movie. Animation is, of course, incredible. And just a genuinely beautiful story. It's just so filled with creativity from the music to the characters to the powers in the house itself. Everything is so lively and living and breathing. It just has such a great emotional ending. Just a truly fantastic movie. And coming in seventh place, we have Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This movie is, you've seen how much hype this movie has gotten. It's absolutely fantastic. I love it. And like I said, a lot of these movies aren't really necessarily in any particular order because I don't know if I would consider this one of my favorites of all time, like the first one, even though I think it's fantastic. That's just because the first one is a completed story. This one just ends kind of on a cliffhanger. So it's kind of hard to put it in one of my favorites, but it truly is just fantastic. And like I said, this movie's this list isn't really completely best movie. 10 is exactly 10, 1 is not exactly 1. These are just my 10 favorite movies. But this movie is truly fantastic, and I can definitely understand why this would be somebody's favorite of the decade. I definitely think it's the best animated movie of the decade, one of the best animated movies I've ever seen. It's just incredible, from the animation to the characters to the emotion. It's just breathtaking. It's gorgeous. And coming in sixth place, we have Oppenheimer. And what else can be said about this movie that hasn't been said before? How Christopher Nolan was able to make a 3-hour drama about the creation of a nuclear bomb. And never once was I bored. It was always so intense. Even when they're just talking, whether it's Senate hearings or just talking about math, it was just constantly filled with so much intrigue. And it, when they're testing the bomb, it just has you on the edge of your seat. There's so many moments in this movie where I just had no words of how much just in amazement I was. It really is a fantastic movie. One of the best movies, easily one of the best movies of 2023. One of the best movies of the decade, obviously. And it's just able to create this movie's 3 hours long, but it feels so fast-paced because every scene feels necessary. You're learning something new, whether we are following Roberts in his journey from college to him and then when they discover when they discovered how to split the atom. There's so many just jaw-dropping moments that just had you on the edge of your seat. It's just great, and every single scene just feels like there's something new to be learned, and it's gorgeous. And coming in fifth place, we have Poor Things. This movie it's so good. I think that there's some people who really hate this movie, and I guess I could see why, because the subject matter here is very unsettling, but it's supposed to do that. Following Bella Baxter's journey in this movie, from her learning just how to speak and walk to just reading, discovering literature, poetry, music. It it is, and of course Emma Stone, truly one of just an incredible performance. Like, and this is also one of the most visually beautiful movies I think of the decade. There's so much creative, like, cinematography all throughout this movie, but it just, Bella's journey throughout this movie of her maturing, growing, learning, it is just so beautiful, as well as just the incredible, unique design of, I believe this movie takes place in the UK, but this like ultra, like this weird, unrealistic, like futuristic, not necessarily retrofuturism, but this surrealic, gothic, Victorian art, like structure, and the aesthetic of all the buildings is just absolutely breathtaking. And just like I said, just Bella's journey is just beautiful. I love this movie. I think the only thing that kind of drags it down just a little bit is I think that Mark Ruffalo, I mean, maybe his performance was supposed to come off as just like, obviously he's supposed to be a sleazeball, but like his performance at times just came off just really, not necessarily bad, but just like when you compare to how good Emma Stone is and all the other performances, it just doesn't really come off that great. But overall, this movie is absolutely fantastic. I love it. And coming in fourth place, we have Killers of the Flower Moon. This movie is just, it's one of the most like emotionally impactful movies I think I've ever seen. This movie's 3.5 hours, and yet at no point was I ever bored watching it. I was always just so invested in all of these characters. And I think maybe one reason why people might not like this movie is, yes, it is just so just tragic and sickening. But yet I found it compelling from beginning to end. Just seeing Leonardo DiCaprio's character, just whether as he falls in love with Lily Gladstone's character, and just the sickening things that he does with his uncle to their family, just this twisted relationship that all just for this thing of greed as this just beautiful message of, I guess, anti-greed. It's just so emotionally moving. I just thought it was just fantastic. I thought it was deserved Best Picture 2023. I thought Leonardo DiCaprio and Lily Gladstone both deserved the Oscar personally, but they were both fantastic. And it's just an amazing movie. And coming in at number 3, we have The Batman. I mean, this is another movie where what else can be said about it? Like, almost everyone who's seen it loves it. I'm in the exact same boat. And this is kind of the Batman movie that I've always wanted. Just from the noir detective style to the aesthetic. And Robert Pattinson is easily my favorite Batman, hands down. He's absolutely fantastic. And just it's a Batman movie that finally is just a true detective crime movie. And every single scene is just gorgeous. Just Gotham has such a beautiful just sense of realism, but also it feels just so out there at the same time. Like it's a city that can exist. It's living and breathing. But you could also tell from some of the architecture, this is just something different. And this is like one of the few Batman movies where Batman actually has a character arc. And instead of being a sense of fear to criminals, he can learn to be a symbol of hope to people who need him and the citizens. And it's just beautiful. And coming in second place, we have RRR. This movie is, over 3 hours, and it is non-stop. From amazing musical set pieces, amazing action set pieces. This movie just kicks off running, and it does not stop. I still listen to some of the songs from this movie. It's some of the most unique action I've ever seen. It's just the story about this journey of just these two guys, whether they're trying to save this woman who was kidnapped or fight the English monarchy who's invading India. It's just beautiful. I loved it. It's just nonstop. So much great action. It's fantastic. And coming in number 1, we have The Banshees of Inisherin. And I just love this movie just because I love its simplicity. I love how it's just about these two friends who just split up. And that's it. And of course, there's obvious symbolism there. But to me, you could just see like how Colum is destroying himself as Podrick tries to become friends with him again, even though Colum doesn't want to be friends, but he's hurting himself in the process. There's so much beautiful metaphors, beautiful cinematography. I just love it. I don't know why, but I love it. It's great.